Shalom, everybody. We're going to be talking about why you should stay isolated while you're on semen retention. Before we get started, like the video, hit me up in the comment section, subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get into what you guys came here to see. So, 4 reasons why you should stay isolated while you're on the journey of semen retention is reason number 1 is isolation brings you closer to God. I noticed that when I started being more isolated from dating women and isolated from just being outside all of the time, even isolated from my own friends, going to hang out and everything like that, isolated from certain family members and all that type of stuff. I noticed that when that happened, I got a lot closer to the Most High. And I personally feel like a lot of relationships and a lot of friendships in my life at the time were stripped away from me because that was God's way of telling me that God wanted a relationship with me. You understand what I'm saying? So many years of my life were wasted prioritizing people and prioritizing things and prioritizing my own personal pleasure over my relationship with God. So I feel like personally, God took away so many people and so many things from my life because God wanted to isolate me in order to establish a relationship with me. And there's nothing wrong with that. I didn't get close to God until I separated from people. I didn't get close to God until I stopped sleeping with that woman. I didn't get close to God until I started hanging out with them. Like, a lot of things in my life did not happen until I was separated and isolated from those people. That's when God came into my life. You understand? And I've never been better. This is the best relationship that I've ever had in my life. The relationship with the Most High God, man. So, first reason that you should stay isolated while you're on semen retention. Not saying you should stay isolated forever, but at least for a little while until you have a solid relationship with the Most High. The first reason to stay isolated is it will bring you closer to God. Now, let's get into reason number 2. The second reason why you should stay isolated while you're on semen retention is isolation will help you find yourself. What do I mean by help you find yourself? Being isolated will put you in a state where it's like you're not worried about other people anymore, your friends, family, girlfriends, nothing like that, your dating life. You're not worried about that type of stuff anymore. You are now fully locked in on you. You are locked in on yourself. You are finding out things about yourself that you had no idea about. Like just recently, I found out how much I love jazz music. Man, I love smooth jazz, man. And I had no idea until I stopped hanging out with everybody and I stopped worrying about everybody else. And I started to focus more on God, my relationship with God, and focus more on myself, figuring out what I want to do with my life. I found out that I have this deep love and passion for smooth jazz, man. I freaking love smooth jazz. One of the most beautiful things in our world, man. I also have a newfound love for poetry. You understand? Like, there's certain things about myself I did not find out until I was isolated from everyone else, man. When it was just me and God, I started finding out so many things about myself. I found my life's passion. I found my calling in life. And my calling in life is what I am doing right now, man. Making this semen retention content on YouTube for my brothers out there, man. For my brothers of the same struggle, man. Guys who struggle with pornography their entire life, guys who struggle with masturbating, guys who struggle with fornicating, and just struggle with sexual lust and sexual desires all their lives. This is my life work. This is my life passion. Helping other brothers like myself, young and old. It don't matter, man. This is what I was made to do. It's to help my brothers, man. And I love it. I would have had no idea this was my calling and my passion in life if I didn't, I'm not going to say if I didn't isolate myself, because I didn't isolate myself. God isolated me from everybody else. And that's when I found God. And that's when I found my life passion. You understand? But I love smooth jazz, man. And I didn't know that about myself until everything else in the world was shut off. And it was just me and God, man. And me discovering things about myself that I had no idea about. So that's the second reason you should stay isolated while you're on semen retention, is because isolation will help you find yourself. You will learn things about yourself, man. You will find your passion. You will find your calling in life, and you will find your purpose in life while you're isolated on semen retention. Now, the third reason that you guys want to stay isolated while you on semen retention is isolation. I can't even talk. Isolation will bring peace into your life, man. What do I mean by isolation will bring peace into your life? Well, it's simple, man. Think about when you were dealing with all of those women, man. When you were dating that woman, you were dating that woman, you were sleeping with that woman, sleeping with that woman, you going out with your friends every weekend. Just think about all how busy you were. Think about all of those people you were sleeping with. Think about all the drama that you were attracting into your life just because you got all these people around you. Just think about how noisy your life was at one point in time. But have you noticed that since you're isolated from everybody, you notice how peaceful your life is? You notice how quiet it is? You notice it ain't no drama going on. It ain't no female problems. Women want to argue with you 24/7 and all that type of stuff, man. You notice how you don't have headaches anymore because this woman want to go out with you, but you already got plans with that woman. Now you got to come up with a lie. You got to make up excuses. You got to play games and do that red pill stuff and manipulate and all. Like, you notice how you don't have to do any of that anymore? Don't that feel good? Don't that feel good to know you ain't going out hanging out with your boys every single weekend or every other weekend, getting drunk, getting high, waking up dealing with a hangover the whole next day, or maybe even the day after that, depending on how much you had to drink and whatever it is, type of drug of choice it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't it feel good to not have to deal with that stuff anymore? Don't it feel good to not have to feel that stuff anymore? Being isolated on semen retention will attract so much peace into your life, man. Being isolated will attract peace and quiet into your life. In the age that I am right now, I'm 31 years old, man. It ain't nothing in my life. It ain't too many things in my life that's more important than my peace. I love my peace. Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that, right? That's exactly what I'm talking about. I love that. Peace and quiet. I freaking love that, man. So the third reason to stay isolated while you're on semen retention is your life will be more peaceful. Now, the fourth reason why isolation is important, why you should stay isolated while you're on semen retention, is isolation will help you master the art of being alone. I'm one of the guys who I started dating women at a very early age in my life, probably like 12 or 13 or something like that. I started early, man. Anything like that had to do with the opposite sex and pornography and all of that stuff, I got started early on in life with all of that, man. I started on all that like when I was about 12 or 13 years old, man. And I remember it was a time when I used to always have like a little girlfriend, bro. Like when I was a kid or a teenager or whatever the case may be, a young adult, I didn't know how to be alone. I always used to feel like I had to be with somebody. I always used to feel like I had to be in a relationship with somebody. I always used to feel like I had to be around people. I had to go outside and be with my friends. I always felt like I had to be talking on the phone with somebody. I always felt like I needed somebody right there with me. Like I didn't know how to be by myself, man. But since my last breakup with my last girlfriend, yeah, the one I talk about in every video, yes, since my breakup with my last girlfriend, this is the longest that I've been single in my entire life. I'm 31 years old. I always used to get in relationships, and when we would separate or break up, whatever the case may be, I would always jump into my next situation or my next relationship. I never gave myself a chance to find myself. I never gave myself a chance to establish a relationship with God. I never gave myself a chance to just be alone and enjoy it. I used to always feel like I had to be with somebody, man. Used to always freaking feel like I must have somebody. I must have friends. I must have a girlfriend. I must sleep with somebody. I must be around people. I didn't know how to just be by myself, man. But since my last breakup, man, I've mastered being isolated. I mastered being alone because during that isolation, I established a relationship with God. And it's like, I know I'm never alone. I know I always got God. When all else fails, when all those women fail me and lie to me and cheat on me and treat me, and when all my friends deceive me and all that type of stuff, you know who ain't going to do those things to me? God. So even though you're alone and physically, you always got God, man. God is always in your corner no matter what, bruh. So keep that in mind. You need to master the art of being alone. You don't have to always have a girlfriend. You don't have to always be around people. You don't have to always surround yourself with fake friends anyway. You don't have to always surround yourself with women who really probably don't want to do nothing but use you for what you're worth anyway. You ain't nothing but a rebound anyway. She probably going through something with her ex or her baby daddy or whatever the case may be. So you really ain't nothing but a rebound to the chick any freaking way. So master the art of being by yourself, my brothers. So with that being said, 4 reasons to stay isolated while you're on semen retention. Reason number 1, isolation brings you closer to God. And I am living proof of that. Reason number 2, isolation will help you to find yourself. You will learn things about yourself. You will find your passion and you will find your calling in life. Reason number 3, isolation will bring peace into your life. Isolation will attract peace and peace and quietness into your life. Reason number 4, isolation will help you to master the art of being alone. And I am also living proof of that, man, because since my last breakup about 7 months ago or whatever it's been at this point, I don't even know. But I mastered the art of being alone. I no longer feel like I need to be with a woman. I no longer feel like I need to be surrounded by a bunch of people to feel secure within myself. No, all I got is me. All I got is God. And that's all I freaking need, man. And I don't care what nobody say. I love being alone. I love me some me because when I'm alone, I can think. I can hear myself think. I ain't worried about everybody else. I'm figuring out things about myself. I love jazz music, love poetry. And that's how I'm coming, man. I'm going to keep it going like that, bro. I'm going to keep finding out new things about myself, new passions that I have that I never had time to learn about myself, man. So I love being alone because being alone helps me to figure out things about myself. So with that being said, if you haven't already, like the video, hit me up in the comment section, subscribe to the channel. Thank you again for watching my video, man. I love you guys. Until the next video, shalom. Have a beautiful and blessed day. Take care.